Welcome into the Pick a Side podcast, a college football week 7 edition. I still don't know what the fuck is going on in this sport, but Tyler, good to be with you. Congratulations to your team on a baseball win.
You got a job done as well yourself, so congrats.
Now I get game 5 with the best pitcher on the planet, and you got work to do tonight.
Yep. I'm going to be in attendance tonight, so I will try to bring home another win.
For you. And I'm hoping that we might both be in attendance on Saturday.
That would be fantastic.
It would be terrific. Potentially a special college tailgate coming your way on Saturday ahead of a potential Game 5 for the Chicago Cubs. But you don't want to talk too much about it because then it won't happen.
Got to get there first.
Yep, just win today.
Yep.
That's all you can do.
Let us win tonight.
I like this college board way more than I expected it to.
Interesting. Okay.
I told you earlier this week on the recap when I was licking my wounds that you'd be lucky if you got me to play 3 games. I think I might play 7 or 8.
Wow. Okay.
And I got to tell you too, they're all spot plays.
There are a lot of spots this week. I can see them.
Like, we're going to talk about the big games on Saturday. This is a very good slate, but I just want to start this with Friday night because it's a must play in my mind.
Okay.
North Texas laying 1.5 now at home against South Florida. I am going to bet North Texas.
All right.
You see the bridge cross. It's 59% of the bets, 93% of the money. You got an unranked team favored over a ranked team. One of USF's wins don't look all that pretty anymore. Like both, actually 2 of them. Boise is awful. Florida is bad. Miami, you got trounced. And I think they're showing you in the number, there ain't a lot of faith here in USF. I'm going to bet North Texas laying 1.5. I just wanted to get it out of the way on a Friday night. But explain the theory this week is going to be spots.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of spots. There's big games and then there's spots, I think is basically the theme of the week. Can I give you a little Friday action before we get to the big dogs here?
I would love a little Friday action.
I'm going to go to the Big Ten. Washington, a 10-point favorite at home against Rutgers. And I'm going to roll with the Huskies as the favorite here. Rutgers is terrible, and one of their biggest deficiencies is against the run. I see Jonah Coleman running all over them. And by the way, sneaky rebound win last week for Washington. Yep. They didn't cover, but they went across the country and beat a good Maryland team.
Yep.
So I thought that was pretty impressive. And then you have a short week for Rutgers traveling across the country. So
Rutgers going all the way. I mean, how long can Shiano survive at Rutgers? Is there a part of this
that's
like...
Is he just their Ferentz / Fitzgerald?
There's like a part of this that's like, we know we're not going to ever be a national title
type
what's
team. Crazy to me with Rutgers is like, it's not like there's not pedigree.
It's the birthplace of college football.
I mean, and they've had good players come through that program. I mean, and even like the guys that they once upon a time had committed there, like Jonathan Taylor was once upon a time committed to Rutgers. Saquon Barkley, I believe, was once upon a time committed to Rutgers.
Yep.
Like, New Jersey is a hotbed for high school football. If you were just going in-state and picking guys off left and right, you'd build yourself a pretty nice program.
You would think, but then these kids, they figure, I got to spend I've been in New Jersey my entire life, and now I want to go to Piscataway.
Yeah, get out of the swamp.
I'm going to go south, or I'm going to go to Happy Valley in the case of Saquon. All right, you ready for Saturday?
Let's do it.
All right, let's get into it. We're going to start with Ohio State, Illinois, 11 a.m. kick. I know it's not bettable action for the people in the state of Illinois. Every time we do this on the picks on Cap and Hood, I get the Twitch stream. Oh, you can't even bet it. That's not the fucking point. We're just...
The game's still going to take place.
The game will happen.
Bet it or not.
And a large portion, I assume a decently large portion of the listening audience gives at least half a shit about Illinois football.
Yeah.
So... we're going to talk about it. Here's my, I'm frankly not that interested in betting the game anyway, but if I had to, I think I would lean Ohio State.
Me too.
14 and a hook is a scary place to live, but I'm just at the point now where I had questions about Ohio State going into the season. They've mostly been answered.
Yeah.
Maybe Patricia is just some NFL genius. Like, I know it's not working at UNC, and we can talk about that in a minute if you like. I mean, what the fuck? But it worked to an extent at Boston College, and it feels like it's working at Ohio State, where you just have an NFL defensive coordinator who can throw things at college quarterbacks that they are just not going to be ready for.
Right. And maybe it's a little different in the case of Altmaier because he's been in the sport a lot longer than guys like Arch or pretty much anyone else that Ohio State's face. But defensively, I mean, we had questions about the defense heading into the year. They're replacing a lot, but you do bring back Caleb Downs. They have not allowed double digits in a single game this year, scoring-wise.
I know.
That's incredible.
They're amazing.
Top 30 in the nation in tackles for loss and sacks. Like, I think I'm not saying that the Indiana game is going to be my guiding light for how I bet Illinois, but the one major data point that I'm going to take from it is if you have a menacing defensive line, you're probably going to beat Illinois pretty comfortably. And Ohio State, I think, fits that category here. So I would lean Ohio State as well, but no real strong lean on the game.
I feel the same way about it, but it's also like the Matt Patricia side of things. It's not just that he's been a coach on Sundays and maybe has some more exotic ideas or can do some different things with his pieces. It's also that he has the pieces to deploy. He's got a safety in Caleb Downs who could start this Sunday for any one of 32 teams.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have NFL players on your defense and an NFL coordinator who can just do NFL things. And that's where I think if you're not an Ohio State level talent, he's going to take advantage of you.
For sure.
The scoring side of things is where I get a little more worried because we haven't seen Ohio State against a great defense really since week 1, and Julian Sayin struggled pretty mightily. The offense as a whole really struggled in that game. I know they got the win, but that's where if I had to lay it, I would lay it. It's just, do I trust that I trust Ohio State can shut the water off for Illinois? Do I trust that they can score it themselves? Not quite as much.
Yeah. And the other part of it is when you're talking 14.5, that's backdoor city right there. Like, you can be up 24-3, and then here comes Altmaier down in garbage time, and all of a sudden it's 24-10, and you're holding the loser.
Be up 28-7 and you get beat. Mm-hmm. All right, Bama Mizzou in Missouri at 11 a.m. Simultaneous kick with the Ohio State game. This is the more fascinating game to me, by the way.
Agreed.
Which is not shocking. You have a 14.5-point spread in Champaign against a 3-point spread in Missouri. I think it's Mizzou or pass, and I think I'm going to bet Mizzou.
I needed you to talk me out of Mizzou this week, and it feels like Bama's kind of answered every call. They obviously answered the call in the Georgia game. They answered the call last week against Vandy, where they just locked down that Vandy team. But I mean, if you look at Mizzou's schedule, too, the rest of the way, you win this, you can pretty much lock yourself, A, into Atlanta, and B, probably a CFP spot as well. You've got the number 1 rusher in the nation in Ahmad Hardy. How is Alabama going to slow that down? That, to me, it's the best running back Bama's going to see all year. It's the best running back they've seen so far this season. I just don't know how you're going to slow that down. And if this, I was hoping this would be like a 3.5, a 4.5 that we could get there, but I think the number of 3 is telling you everything you need to know, that Mizzou's very live to win this game, and Bo Prabula's just done enough this year to kind of help them get to where they're at right now.
That's kind of the key, too, for me, because last year was Mizzou's year. They were supposed to be great. Luther Burden, Brady Cook returning for a senior season. You felt like everything was just built to be the last year. And can I offer you that they're getting better quarterback play out of Bo Prabula this year than they got out of Brady Cook last year?
So far, yeah.
And I'm not selling that Bo Prabula is some Heisman candidate, but I will say, like what you just said, he's doing enough. Brady Cook last year was like dead half the year.
Yeah.
And could do nothing, even when he got on the field. Bo Prabula is running their offense to the tune of one of the best third down offenses in America. And you have a great running back, a great offensive line. I kind of buy what Eli Drinkwitz, the head coach, has started to build here. It feels like he's building a program. The environment, I think, will be a madhouse, even though they've got cranes and shit in the end zone. It looks ridiculous when they're undergoing renovation.
Yeah.
But you start flipping 3, like I told you last week, and there are spots where I will go against this week, but this one stood out to me as, if I'm starting to feel like the SEC is the NFL, then shouldn't I be betting home teams getting 3 points?
For sure. Yes, absolutely. Especially teams that can run the ball, shorten the game up, and that's exactly what Mizzou is.
Yeah, so I'm in on Mizzou. I thought it jumped off the page when I saw it, getting 3 points. And Bama, I don't know, man. I'm not ready to say they're all fixed up after the Florida State stuff.
I will say, though, last week told me a lot against Vanderbilt.
Sure.
I thought that was a really, really good win. And Bama could go out, lose, or not cover this game. And I'm still like, if I'm another team, I wouldn't want to see them in the playoff because
agree.
I think they can be, by the time we get to late November and then December and January, I think they can be that team that both you and I thought they could be in the preseason. But you got to continue to get over some of these road bumps along the way, and I think this is a pretty significant one for them.
All right, Oregon, Indiana. Oregon's laying 7.5 at home. I hope. I looked for every direction that I could play IU, and everything I looked at just told me to bet Oregon.
I went down the same road you did, man. I was trying to get there.
I know I want to root for Indiana in the game, but even at 7.5, everything I looked at, whether it's offensive efficiency metrics, whether it's the defensive side of the football, whether it's the bet data, which if you care about and if you want it,
I saw this one.
Everybody is betting. It feels like, well, not anymore. The split's actually changed a little bit. So 48% of the bets are on Indiana, but it only makes up 23% of the money.
Yeah, when I saw it last night, it was 49% of the bets are on Oregon, 78% of the money on Oregon.
Yeah, I mean, the bet data is just, the big money people are telling you, go bet the Ducks. I think it's probably a stay away for me because it's 7.5. Flat 7, 6.5, I'd be more entertained in betting Oregon, but it's just what we talked about with Ohio State and Illinois. If I'm sitting there and I'm up 31-17 with 3 minutes to go and Fernando Mendoza drives down the field and I don't cover because I'm sitting on 7 and a hook, then I'm going to be furious. But I'll have won basically the entire game. Yeah. Like if there's a really kind of creative way that you could attack this, Oregon laying 4.5 first half might be interesting.
Okay.
Just win by a touchdown.
Yeah.
Do me the favor of just winning the first half by a touchdown.
Isn't this kind of just you've got Dan Lanning and then his mini-me on the other side.
Yeah.
Kurt Signetti. That's what this game is to me. I also saw this Dan Lanning 16-7 against the spread at home since taking over, and he's covering by an average margin of 5 points. Like this is going to be the first real test for two elite quarterbacks who are in the Heisman conversation right now.
Yep.
Dante Moore on the Oregon side, Fernando Mendoza on the Indiana side. And I just think that the defensive resistance that Oregon's going to provide in this game, especially at home, versus what you're going to see on the Indiana side is, I don't want to say night and day, but I just think it's going to be a lot stronger from the Oregon side. I think Dante Moore is going to have a little bit of an easier time than Mendoza will in this game.
There's some interesting off-field stuff, too, with Lanning and Signetti, where Lanning's been kind of trying, it feels like Lanning's been trying to bait him into saying something.
Yeah. I feel like they're both kind of tiptoeing around landmines.
Yeah,
they know what the deal is for this.
Yeah, they know don't feed anybody anything extra. But the point I was going to make was like, in the offseason, when we were doing the Big Ten preview, I said one of my big fears with Indiana was Signetti ran his mouth a lot last year, and I wonder if there's a revenge factor from other Big Ten coaches of like, you spouted off a ton, and we're going to make you feel it.
Yeah.
If there's one game on their schedule where the head coach heard everything that was said a year ago, and he's been waiting for a moment to shut him up, this is the one.
Oh, yeah.
Which, like... I would love, part of why I'm not going to bet it too is I would love Indiana to just win the game, and I don't want to lose a bet on fading Indiana. It's just every way I looked at it came back, just bet Oregon.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I wanted, like, in terms of like my personal rooting interest, if I wasn't to lay a wager on the game, I'd be rooting for Indiana. It's just kind of like the Midwest thing. I like the program. I love Signetti, and that's not to say I don't love Dan Lanning and everything, but like Oregon's kind of been like that front-running team through the course of like our childhoods, right? Like all the cool Nike jerseys and shit like that. And now it's like, here comes the little guy, Indiana, who you would have never thought to see a 7 next to their name.
It's unbelievable.
In the rankings.
The fact that this is a top 10 matchup.
I know.
There's no way.
Think about it. The winner of this game is going to walk out of this with 2 top 10 wins this season.
Yep. And probably lock themselves into the playoff because I believe they both play Penn State. And dude, like Jesus, Penn State's in some trouble.
Yep.
Red River, Oklahoma, Texas. Oklahoma right now getting 1.5. Now we have to lay out this is the most fascinating game of the week.
Yes,
because there's news around it where it will significantly impact the betting line, and you probably won't know until about an hour before kickoff, if not even sooner. But John Mateer has been officially listed as questionable for Oklahoma. There was a news report earlier in the week, I think it was from Pete Thamel, who said Mateer is pressing to play. The surgery went well. He feels good. He's throwing the football. He wants to play against Texas. Then the Thursday injury report comes out either today or yesterday and officially lists Mateer as questionable. That means he might play. And if Mateer gets ruled in by kick, I think you're looking at Oklahoma as a 3.5, if not 4-point favorite.
Yeah.
I'm betting Oklahoma plus 1.5. I can't advise this to anybody really because you might end up without Mateer and then you're just stuck watching a backup quarterback try to outpace Arch. Not saying it's impossible. Like, I'm not writing off Oklahoma here, neutral site game. Just Arch has been horrible. I think it's weird that Texas is favored over the number 6 team in America. This is typically never a spot where I would bet the dog. But with the potential of Mateer coming back, I have to bet Oklahoma.
Yeah,
I can only give it to you today.
Yeah, I think you roll the dice and hope Mateer plays. And even if he doesn't play, you want this wrinkle here. Michael Hawkins Jr., their backup, who's been filling in.
He was good
for
last
Mateer.
week.
Yeah, he's been solid. And he's an Allen High School guy, played a couple years there. Also McKinney, Texas guy. Guess who didn't offer him?
Texas.
You think that's not going to stick with him a little bit? He's a 3-star guy who's trying to make his way through this thing. I think there's a little bit of revenge factor and a little, hey, you didn't take a look at me.
What do you make of the number, though? The idea that Texas is favored. I mean, they didn't. Like, the problem I'm having here is last week they didn't lose to a good team. They lost to like a regular opponent.
Yeah.
And now against the number 6 team in the country, we're still favoring. Like, could it just be as simple as we don't have Mateer news, and frankly, we have been taking on water with Texas bets, so we can't afford to float them as a dog?
Yeah, because like if Mateer does not play in this game, like, I still think Texas very much can be in this thing, and. Frankly, like, the number's so weird, they're probably going to outright win if Mateer doesn't play. It's just going to, it's going to be a lower scoring game because whether Mateer plays or not, there's still 2 elite defenses on both sides. So I think you just kind of, you're effectively giving me a pick 'em in this game when you're floating a number of 1.5. Like, games don't land on 1, really, especially in the college game too. You're basically telling me this game's a pick-em and neutral site spot too. So
Sure. If Mateer plays,
I think you're spot on with what the spread is. Yeah.
Heisman ticket back on too.
Yeah, because no one's really stood out.
Yeah,
in the time.
All he will have missed is a bye week in the Kent State game, and you can flagship your way through the SEC gauntlet. Yeah, Heisman ticket back on if Mateer plays this weekend.
Wait, hold on. Before we do that, what's that number? Because this might be a let's buy in spot because wasn't it like 80-1 at one point?
Yeah, it might honestly be like a double down situation for me where I already have the ticket out there, and now I'm like, why don't I just add on at 100-1?
All right, I'm not seeing him in the first like 8 guys, so that's a good sign. John Mateer.
Let me ask you this: he gets ruled into play, and before we even see,
he's 15-1.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, I overlooked his name. He's sandwiched between Fernando Mendoza and Trinidad Chambliss right now.
He's 15-1.
Yeah,
Mateer?
I wouldn't take that.
I wouldn't either. I already have a 28-1.
Yeah.
But that also kind of, dude, I think he's gonna
make you feel pretty good.
I think he's gonna play on Saturday.
Yeah,
I kind of just the way the numbers are all setting up, I kind of think he's gonna play on Saturday, which. That saves everything with Oklahoma's season. I mean, then you can get comfy going through your gauntlet with your quarterback. That's where you want to live. Michigan USC. This is also just spot city. USC at home, favored by 2.5 points over ranked Michigan. And there's 2 ways to look at it. It's either they're setting up the mousetrap for you to just grab the cheese and lose your hand because, look, you can get USC under a field goal, or you just ride the lightning and bet the Trojans. The only problem is everybody is doing that. 76% of the bets make up 81% of the money on USC. And I think it's right.
Yeah.
There's travel concerns. It's a later kick for Michigan. Actually, not really. It's a middle of the day kick for everybody. Yeah. Like, This is so ridiculous. I had to kick at 11 p.m. Eastern over there, and now Michigan gets the 6:30
Well, if you were a little bit
kick.
better, then you wouldn't be kicking at 11 o'clock.
Listen, Michigan State can't possibly be a little bit better. They're fucking terrible. By the way, did you see the number on the Sparty game this week?
Did.
No shot. You're getting me to lay 8.5. Are you out of your fucking mind?
Against UCLA? Come on, they blew their wad.
I guess phrasing. I guess that's true. But there's no way I'd bet it. You got to talk me out of USC because I would like to bet them. My biggest fear is that they're public.
I'm not going to
right.
because I just think this plays like a higher scoring version of Michigan, Oklahoma from earlier in the year. And if you're going to beat USC, like if you just look at all the results throughout the season, if you're going to beat USC, you need to get into a shootout. I don't think Michigan is capable of getting into a shootout. And you're going to tuck me inside of a field goal. I'm rolling with a guy that I think and you thought once upon a time like could have won the Heisman in Maeva. And it wasn't like he played terribly against some of these other teams. He just didn't get the winning result in tough games. So I like USC a lot this week.
This is how we're going to find out if Danny Zetterman listens. Kansas, Texas Tech. Texas Tech is laying 14 points, the number 9 team in the country at home against the Lawrence Jayhawks. And Zetterman asked us to spend some time talking about this game, so I'll do you a favor. I'm not betting the game, but if I had to, I would bet Texas Tech. I know that Kansas has covered every time they've played a ranked opponent. Each of their last, 7 times against the top 25 team, Kansas has covered. I just think this Texas Tech team is a little bit of a different beast. You're talking about Kansas States. You're talking about fake-ass Colorados. You're talking about fake-ass BYUs. This Texas Tech team is not fake. They're number 9 in the country because they spend more money than anybody to build their roster. And they have one of the most expensive and legitimate defensive lines in all of football. I think Jalen Daniels in a lot of trouble this week. So if I had to bet the game, I would lay 14 with Texas Tech.
Yeah, I wouldn't bet this game. I think Kansas is going to be able to still run the ball a little bit. It's what they've done, especially when you've got the dual threat stuff. To me, is it weird to say I just feel like this pushes on 14?
No.
I just think Texas Tech is 14 points better.
I kind of agree with you. Yeah, 35-21 final.
Yeah, the numbers on the nose here.
Georgia-Auburn, another big brand game for the week and really the last big game that we have to talk about on the slate. But it is a better slate, and I've got a couple extras at the end of this.
Yeah.
Georgia-Auburn, I said there'd be spots I'm going to go against feeling like the SEC is the NFL. This is one of them. I feel like this number has come way too close to earth because of the Georgia loss to Bama. Georgia punked Kentucky last week, and now I'm just sitting here, and I see one of the craziest bet differentials of the week. 39% of the bets on Georgia make up, buckle up, 95% of the money.
Wow.
I still buy Gunnar Stockton. I still buy Georgia on the whole. I think that they'll be in the playoff. I think Auburn's ass. So even the fact that this is in Auburn, I'm going to bet the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I'm going under 45.5 this game. Hopefully we find some sort of happy medium here. But I just think both of these defenses have been elite as of late in particular. I'm starting to look at Georgia and see, you know what, that game against Tennessee, more outlier than anything else. Even though you lost the game against Bama, I still think you put up a pretty good defensive fight, especially in that second half. So 45.5, that's a very low number for an SEC game too, but I think these are two defensive powerhouses that are going to keep this thing in the teens, maybe low 20s.
Yeah. All right. You want to get to the other stuff?
Let's do it.
I'm going to start with something kind of gross that I shouldn't do, and I will allow you to talk me out of it if you like.
Okay.
Why is Kansas State only getting 1.5?
I saw that
TCU?
too. I saw that. And in the Big 12, that is where spots reign supreme.
But we've lost. You didn't. I lost on this exact spot earlier in the year when Kansas State played Arizona, and Kansas State was 1-2, and they were coming off the loss to Army, which is still inexplicable to me. I mean, Jesus Christ. They were coming off the loss to Army, and they're going to Arizona, and they're a 1.5 favorite. And I'm like, you got to bet Kansas State. But this one sticks out really odd. Game in Manhattan. TCU has been good this year.
But that's the thing. Arizona was not a good team.
I know.
And I think you look at it in this spot here.
Are you on this?
I'm not right now, but maybe you'll talk me into it.
I'm not going to talk you into it because I hate Kansas State. I hate the idea that I'm going to bet this team again. Because every time I do, I get bit in the ass. And every time I decide to trust them, I look like an idiot. But this spot, I keep looking at it and going, Hoover's been great this year for TCU. They've built a program there. And they've been good for the most part this season. So why is it 1.5 points? And I just come away and I'm going to bet Kansas State. And I'm probably going to kick myself for it. But I think it has to be done.
All right. Good luck to you.
What do you got?
Let's go to another marquee SEC matchup, at least from a brand standpoint. Florida, we're doing this again. +7.5. Have you heard that before?
I know.
On the road at A&M.
I can't stand it. I have a bet on this game too, and I hope that we're on the same side because I'm so fucking sick of seeing this number. Go ahead.
Under 46.5 for me.
It doesn't correlate with what I want to do, Tyler. It doesn't correlate. I want to lay the wood with A&M.
Do you?
Yeah, I just want to pound Florida out of a fucking wood chipper. Like, get Billy Napier out of here. Stop with the 7.5s against every good team.
But here's the thing: is like Florida's defense in all of these games has played well enough to put them in position to cover and win all of these football games that they've lost. And it's just DJ Lagway inserts his head up his own ass in every single one of these situations.
I know.
And on the flip side, A&M's really put the clamps down on the SEC the last couple of weeks against Auburn and Mississippi State. So.
But it's also a spot to me where it's like I'm not saying you're wrong on the under, and maybe A&M can just win this thing like 21-3. Yeah. And we'll both feel good. But it is one of those spots to me where it's like, hey, Florida just beat Texas. Maybe they are as good as we thought they were preseason. Here's 7 and a hook.
Yeah.
And it's like, just bet the other side of this.
I will say, if you made me pick the side, I would take A&M. And I think we can find our happy medium, even though the plays don't correlate.
It's pure spite for Florida putting this stupid ass number out every fucking week, and for Billy Napier being terrible. I'm gonna bet A&M. Fuck Florida. I want nothing to do with them anymore. A&M's on the card.
Get away from the stove.
You can tell me not to bet this one too. It's Big Ten theater. Nebraska at Maryland.
Oh, I thought you were going to a different Big Ten game.
No. Nebraska, I know what were you either thinking Northwestern Penn State or were you thinking my school? Because there's no shot.
Neither.
Okay. Which one?
Lay out yours and then I'll go to mine.
Maryland's getting 6.5. You talk about want to do this again. Maryland gets 6.5 every week. You know what they do when they get 6.5 every week? They cover the fucking number. Mike Loxley, let's ride it home. I'm taking Maryland plus 6.5 because, fun fact, Nebraska sucks. Okay, go ahead.
All right. They go low. We may have to go lower. Iowa at Wisconsin. Lowest total of the season so far, 35.5. We doing it?
It's not in the 20s yet.
We jumping into the kiddie pool here? You know what I see when I see this total? Whenever you're at a pool and you see the no diving and you see like that stick figure, like seeing his neck get snapped, that's what this total is right here for me.
You know what a Big Cat always says? Life's too short to bet the under, root for points. I actually think these are the rare fun unders.
Yeah.
Because it's so absurd.
It's so ridiculous. I will say, like, the football side of looking at this game tells me to bet over. And maybe it's gotten to the point where it's like Iowa, Wisconsin, Midwest, corn feeding. Like, this is where you go under. Like, the public is on the under when they see this number. But
nice little bet differential on the under, too. 47% of the bets makes up 61% of the money. They go low.
We go lower.
I'd do it if you want to do it. I'm not opposed.
Let's fire it.
Under 35.5.
We've done this before. Why not again?
Iowa unders carry me now. I mean, the couple years ago when we had the under 28.5 with Rutgers and Iowa, that was the greatest. That was such an adrenaline rush when the bet hit.
Oh, yeah.
I was so happy.
You're on edge that entire game, too.
All right, what else do I have for you? I have 2 Pac-12 After Darks, which is just what I'm calling them because I refuse to believe that these are Big 12 games.
Gotcha. All right.
BYU at Arizona. Arizona's getting 1.5 points. Hello. Arizona's only getting 1.5 points at home against 18 BYU, and BYU is fake as fuck again.
Arizona's fun, too.
Arizona is fun, and Brent Brennan's trying to save his gig. Give me the Wildcats plus the 1.5. They'll win the game. Look, BYU's been a fun little story, off to a 5-0 start again. They've started their season nicely, but I still can't get the sour taste in my mouth. One, that school, and two, the fact that their quarterback got honor code blasted out of there like 2 months before the season started, and they're just winning with some other guy now
who wears 47.
I can't. The number, I can't deal with it. Arizona, put them to bed. Give me Arizona plus 1.5.
All right.
I hate
I'm guessing
BYU.
you're also on this other late night game here.
Arizona State at Utah?
Yeah.
Yeah, this spot killed us last week, but it really didn't because we played the Louisville-Virginia game.
Yeah.
And Louisville, when you go back, I actually didn't watch it live, and I just went back and saw like clips of it, and then I was checking out the box score. Louisville dominated that game and just came away with a shit result off some fluke stuff. That's a spot I'm going to want to live typically, and this is like blackjack.
Yeah.
You hit 16, you either do it every time or you never do it. Well, we bet Louisville laying damn near a touchdown as an unranked favorite at home last week against Virginia. Now you get Utah laying damn near a touchdown at home as a favorite against a ranked Arizona State. And Arizona State, what am I going to say? This whole Big 12, in fact, fake as fuck. So
They are the circle of suck.
Uh-huh.
Like aside from Texas Tech, who probably gets tripped up at some point this year off a spot, but yeah.
They're the one, but they're the only one that legitimately built a team for this season. Everybody else, like Utah, maybe, if things get right. But what I saw earlier this year, it was one of the most undisciplined performances I've ever seen from Kyle Whittingham.
Yeah.
Just this spot, I always think is tough. ASU has a great geographical advantage playing at home in the desert. It's heat that they only know. You go up the mountain, it gets a little more dicey.
Now.
Yeah, it's going to be cold, thin air, late night game. That I'm not telling you Rice Eccles is some like incredible environment, but it'll get loud. I'm going to lay the wood with Utah.
Yep, that's the side I like here. And like my fear would be that you're getting the worst of the number here with 5.5. You're kind of in no man's land there, but you can get games that land on 6 and 7. And then the other part I like about this, you got Utah coming off a bye. You have a new quarterback, a new offensive coordinator who, albeit have a history together at New Mexico, but Devin Dampier and Jason Beck, you get them another week together in this Utah system, and I think you're walking away with a touchdown plus victory in this game.
I'm up to 10 bets, which means I'm done.
All right.
I didn't even want to bet
more at
3.
ya?
No, I didn't even want to bet 3 games, and I'm betting 10.
Can I throw one more at you? That's if we're going well, we're gonna hit the button. Because you followed me before on this.
Is Hawaii on the island?
Hawaii is on the island, and they are an underdog. Jake Santos is in the studio with us right now. He is a former Hawaii quarterback. But Hawaii plus 1.5 at home against Utah State. I give the number out every single time. They are now 5-0 against the spread as a home dog in their last 5. Just continue to ride the lightning if you're with me.
Earth is betting Utah State too. Okay, if I'm having a nice day, I'll press a bet on Hawaii on the island.
Right.
It's worked for me before. I will tell you, don't ask me to watch this shit. 11 o'clock kick Central Time. Don't even think I will not be up.
All right, that's fine. You don't have to watch. You can just wake up with the money in your account the next day.
It's Hawaii Plus. It's the like Chiefs Plus. It's the subscription that pays you back.
Hawaii is like stocks. All right, you make money while you sleep.
I love that. All right, all good?
That's all I got. Yep.
That'll do it. We have another NFL episode coming tomorrow. NFL has treated us very nicely. Please remember, wherever you get your podcasts, rate, review, subscribe. YouTube.com. Click the subscribe button. YouTube.com/@PickAsideESPN. Leave us a comment, like a video, subscribe. We appreciate it. It helps us out. Thank you. It's another episode of the Pick a Side podcast.